Motherhood is challenging, and that's an understatement. Mothers have a full plate. We have so many roles and responsibilities for kids and home and family and work and community and more. And all of the gears have to work together for everything to run smoothly, or there's a lot of stress, right? So today, I'm going to talk about solutions and advice and relief. I'm Dr. Ellen Ettinger. I'm the founder and director of Motherhood Association, an educational and support organization for mothers, parenting, and work and home topics. But today, I'm going to focus on advice and help. And as the director of Motherhood Association, I've worked with many mothers and families. Today, I'm going to talk about the top 5 complaints and challenges that I hear mothers express. And of course, the advice and recommendations that go along with them. So, as you can probably imagine, stress and work are among the top challenges. But I want to mention what I hear almost universally when mothers first come to me. They often feel isolated and alone. They often feel like they're the only ones with these problems that really are very common. They feel like no one understands them or their problems, and they're lost about how to find solutions. They often feel like they're stuck and resigned, like they need to create solutions for each of their problems. And again, they often feel stuck and resigned. One mother expressed it to me when she first came to me. I don't know what to do. This frustrating and exhausting feeling. Is this the way it's going to be for 18 years? So again, it's a really common feeling and a deep feeling of stress and helplessness. But I want to reassure you, first of all, that you're not alone. And second of all, that there are solutions and that there is a happy motherhood. So, one of the keys that you're going to hear me saying often is that all of the gears of your roles have to be aligned and they have to keep moving. I'm going to be talking more about that today. But essentially, you don't want to solve one problem and create a problem in another area. So, again, mothers have a number of roles and responsibilities for home, kids, family, work, often community, many times more things. So, let's talk about the top 5 most common motherhood challenges. The first is the stress of handling it all. And again, there are so many roles, so much to handle. But, and I hear often, I can't feel present with my kids. I can't focus at work. I just feel out of control. And the good news here is that you can learn to feel in control and in charge of your life again, rather than life controlling you. And I've spoken about the stress of motherhood, mom stress, as I call it, in other videos. I do want to reassure you that there are many solutions, many steps that you can take. The stress of motherhood, is the most common topic that I'm asked to present on when I speak in front of motherhood and parenting groups or community groups or work or organization groups and keynote talks. I'm often asked to talk about the stress of motherhood, how to handle it all. And I do recommend that you really look for personalized solutions, not the cookie cutter, the one size fits all, that you might see a little bit of a solution here or there in a book or one video. That it's really important to think about the combination of problems that are going on and the combination of steps and solutions that can help you. And if this is an area that you'd like to talk about more for yourself or for your group, I will leave my contact information below. And I'm going to continue to talk about stress later today. You'll see them in my other videos as well. Again, because it's one of the most common 5 concerns, complaints, and challenges that I hear from mothers. And the second common complaint I hear is work and work-related concerns. So some mothers, for example, are trying to navigate how to plan for a promotion at work, or how to move up to a big administrative or management or leadership job. So sometimes I'm doing executive level coaching with the parents that I work with, helping them create that pathway to get up to the top. Or if they have their own business, I'm talking to them about how to help get their business to soar and skyrocket. And again, focusing on work is often difficult. Mothers often say, I can't focus. I'm at work and I'm thinking about home or my kids. Or I'm at home with my kids and I can't be present because I'm thinking about work stress. So that reminds me that I always tell parents, when you're looking for advice, when you're looking for help, you really want a full scope solution. So, and that reminds me of a client that I worked with actually on this work issue that we're talking about now. And she came to me after she said she had hired a work coach, a business coach, to help her with her work goals. And she said it helped work somewhat, but it threw her schedule at home and her energy at home off. And so it really created turmoil in her life, although it helped her business a little bit. And that's why I always say, if you really reach out to somebody, make sure you work with somebody who can help all of the gears work together and offer you a full scope solution while focusing and concentrating on certain areas. And of course, we do that in Motherhood Association. And there are other experts who do that as well. I just want to make sure that you know that it's an important suggestion that you work with full scope experts if you're a mother. Otherwise, you're going to get little by little, and often you solve one issue and create 2 other problems in other areas. That's what I hear from mothers. So that's the work complaint that I hear a lot about. How do I stay on focus? How do I move ahead? And that brings me to the next common complaint I hear about: work-home combination issues, often called work-life balance. And I really dislike the term work-life balance because I think it's misleading and it doesn't help people solve problems for many reasons. One is, when you talk about work-life balance, work is an important part of our lives, and to segment it out against life is unrealistic. And that's why I feel it doesn't create realistic, helpful solutions when you're putting work against life and trying to balance them, because they're really not separate. Work is an important part of life and needs to be considered that way. And the other thing is, balance is really poetic, but it's really intangible. And it's really hard to get because you don't really know what you're searching for, balance. So I always ask my mothers and the parents that I work with what they are looking for. And what most of them are looking for is happiness and freedom and peace and success. That's what they want in their lives. Balance, meh. But the mothers that I work with want happiness, freedom, peace, and success. And that's what I help them work for. And we create and develop goals and aims and problems and solutions on how to get there. So I want to mention the fourth common complaint now, and that is supporting your child's stages and development. And as mothers, we all want our kids to do well. We want to help them. And I tell mothers, no matter what age your child is, either infant or toddler or early school age or tweens and teens, there's usually something going on that you'd like to help them with. And I'm going to talk a lot more about this category and examples and solutions. And again, I want to talk about not needing to recreate the wheel. With these common problems and mothers wanting to find solutions, you don't always have to create your own solution because these are such common problems. Again, you don't have to recreate the wheel. There are solutions that are easily available that you can have access to. And this is very common in the children's problems group. I want to briefly mention the fifth problem first, and then we're going to go back and talk about a number of these problems, especially the kids' problems, as an example of solutions. So the fifth common complaint that I hear of mothers is how to improve and elevate relationships with children, with a parent, with a partner or a spouse, or with other family members or friends. And mothers often say something like, I'm so busy, I'm so tired. How can I cultivate relationships? I just don't have energy or time, I'm tired. And again, you don't have to recreate that wheel. There are solutions, there are steps, there are methods and processes that you can use to reclaim your relationships, to reflame your relationships. So, and again, I'm going to continue talking about all of these challenges in this video and continuing in other videos. So let's go back to the topic about helping your children and children's development. And again, whether you have an infant or a toddler, early school age, teen or tween, as mothers, we're all looking to help and support our kids. So for infants, we're usually trying and hoping to get them to sleep longer through the nights, time, age appropriate, and eventually through the nights, and to self-soothe so they don't start crying each time they wake up. And I really do want to mention that as humans, we're all creatures of habit, infants as well. And infants are used to, when they come into the world, waking up during the night and being fed, waking up during the night and having somebody with them. And they're used to that. They're creatures of habit like we all are. And so when you're trying to break that habit and get them used to a different way of acting, it's really changing their habit. It's teaching them to change their habit. And many times that can be challenging. And there are different ways of doing it, from the cry it out method. And I'm not a big fan of that method, but I can explain to parents how it works if you'd like to try that, if you'd like to use that. And there are other methods as well. And again, we want to teach babies and young children that when they wake up, age appropriate, they don't necessarily have to have us with them. We want to teach them to self-soothe. So again, there are many different processes that you can use, and I'm happy to discuss with you the number of different processes that are out there so that you can choose what you feel is best for you and your child and your family. So education is really helpful in combating that feeling of powerlessness, and it can help put you and make you feel in control again. Again, you don't have to create every solution for your family. There are solutions out there like sleep learning and sleep training. And for toddlers, we're also often trying to get them to sleep through the nights to self-soothe when they wake up, to change that habit, and sometimes to sleep in their own beds instead of running to your bed if that's something you'd like to accomplish with your child. And for tweens and teens, there are a number of issues. One of them is teaching them independence. So by that age, you can't be with them every minute of every day. And you really want to teach them to be responsible, to make good choices and good decisions, and to think. We want to teach them to be more self-motivated. So for example, you don't have to continue to nag them to do their homework, because eventually they may go away to college, or they may go out and get a job eventually. And you don't want to have to be the one to nag them. You want them to be self-motivated, to take care of themselves and the things that they need to do, or to do chores around the house. And I don't love calling them chores because there's a negative connotation that parents want to make kids do chores and kids don't like doing chores. And I think kids should definitely do responsibilities around the house. I just don't like calling them chores because of the history and the negative connotation. I think there are better things to call them so that kids can understand why they're doing what they should do. And I call them family responsibilities. And I explain to mothers how to teach that. Mothers do family responsibilities, and so do kids. And it's helpful to build a family culture about family responsibilities. I've done a video about that. And if you'd like to talk more about that with me again, you can set up a phone call with me. I will try to leave that information underneath. And I'm going to talk about another issue that I hear a lot about from parents, and that's discipline and cooperation. So my big comment here is if timeouts worked, parents wouldn't have to do them over and over and over again with kids. Again, if timeouts and consequences worked, they would solve the problem if we did it once or twice with kids. And the problem is that timeouts and consequences don't work the way we think they do or we wish they would work. So if your child gets a timeout because he or she hit their little sister when they got upset or angry or jealous, and they get a timeout, they're not sitting there thinking, oh, I hit my little sister, I'm in timeout. Now I know next time I'm upset or angry or jealous with my because of my sister, I'm going to treat her gently. I'm going to take care of her because I'm in timeout now, and I'm going to remember that. No, that's not what they're thinking. They're not giving themselves a lesson like we wish when they're in timeout. We're not providing kids answers and lessons and telling them what to do instead when they have timeout or consequences. So timeout doesn't give a lesson, it doesn't role model, it doesn't show them what to do next time they have and feel big emotions like anger or feeling upset or jealous. At best, it gives compliance where kids don't know what to do, but they'll try to hold themselves back. So it doesn't teach them to handle their emotions. At best, again, compliance, holding back, not knowing what to do to deal with their emotions. And to me, it's really important if you want to solve this problem to be able to talk with kids about emotions and how they feel and how to handle their emotions. And I know that may sound complicated, but you don't have to create that yourself. There are solutions and ways of dealing with that. And that is complicated. And the solution really depends on you and your child. There really isn't a cookie cutter, one size fits all solution that really works. But there are ways of dealing with it. And any way of talking with emotions and these types of problems with children is so much better than sending them on their own in timeout, or they don't have help from a parent or somebody who cares and loves them. And they're sitting themselves, usually thinking, well, I'm here. Boy, my mom really got upset. She was yelling. She really got upset. And some kids feel a power drive. Some kids actually like that. And at best, they may be sitting there thinking, well, I'm sitting here, I'm bored. What do I do? Well, I'll be out of here in 10 minutes. They're usually sitting there getting bored. And the point is, timeout and consequences don't really work the way we wish they did and we think they did. And it's scary because a lot of parenting experts have videos and there are books on timeout and consequences. And they're really, if you look at those, they're not solutions. They're not long-term solutions. It's scary to me that there are parenting experts that still espouse that. So again, I think there are many better solutions for kids' emotions and for all of the 5 common problems, whether it's the stress of handling it all, whether you have work goals that you want to concentrate and focus on, whether it's the work-home combination, whether it's supporting your kids in their stages in development, or whether it's improving relationships with your kids or a partner or a spouse or family members. It's really helpful and empowering to know that you don't have to recreate the wheel, that there are solutions available in all of these areas. And I do recommend that mothers and parents feel comfortable to reach out to get these solutions, that you can really get a lot of relief. I do make 2 recommendations. One is that you find somebody that you're comfortable with. There are a lot of people with different personalities, and you should look for somebody who you feel you can talk to. And second, as parents, I feel that when you reach out, you should reach out to someone who you're confident in, who can help you keep all of the gears working together smoothly. Somebody that I described as a full scope solution place, like Motherhood Association and myself, but there are other experts as well who have full scope solutions and can help you keep all the gears working together smoothly. And it's like the business example that I gave you, where a mother hired a business coach and it helped the business a little bit, but it created problems at home and with family in other areas of her life. Again, you want all the gears to work smoothly. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or issues, or if you'd like me to speak on these topics for your group or organization, or speak to me individually to help with you, schedule a phone call with me. I will put my phone number and contact information below. And again, whether you work with me or somebody else, the goal is to help all the gears work together smoothly. So if this was helpful, please click thumbs up. Please share this with other mothers so we can get the message out there that there are solutions, and it's not that every mother has to create her own solutions to everything. And hit subscribe so that you can be aware when my next video comes out. And next week, I will come out with another video on another important topic. So until then, be empowered, and let's talk again together soon.